Yo, thanks for the follow, Radiant Radish. I see you. Alright. 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 Let's get started. Alright. Alright. Tragically, with great sadness, it brings my heart great sadness to reveal to you, unfortunately, all the work that I did yesterday is pretty much probably gonna end up in the trash. Probably. I didn't like the direction I was going, so I decided to squash about 6 commits from yesterday and roll them back, revert them. And we're just gonna start over because I don't like the way things were going there. There were some unexpected things happening, and it's just, I can't let that go without knowing more about it, and I think starting from scratch is prudent. Alright. So let's pretend that yesterday never happened. How's that sound? Alright, so today we got a preview. The position of it is not 100% where I would want it to be. Okay, so this is the unpulled code. I still need to do a pull here. Pull. Pull. Push. Push? What was that push? I guess it was nothing. So I squashed the 6 commits and I dubbed them the big wrong turn. And that's this right here. It's a shame. Alright, well, what's happening here? I don't think I should have a drop down anymore. So I do have a drop down still. Okay. Interesting. That's... I'm confused. I shouldn't have this anymore. I really shouldn't have this. I shouldn't have this either. What? Okay, hold on. This can't be how today's starting too. Okay, let's go over this real quick. This is index HTML. Now, I see this shape drop down here in this commit being removed, don't you? And yet, when I look here, it's there. What? I gotta delete this repo or something. First of all, let's look at this on GitHub and just make sure I'm not crazy. We go to the main repo, index. Okay, I am crazy. How? How? How did that happen? This. Did this mess me up? How? Oh my god. That is deleted. I'm not gonna lie, I'm thoroughly confused. What does this mean? Why did this happen? Alright, well, I've obviously messed something up, but I am where I'm at. So, I'm gonna have to work our way forward. Just gonna spend a little bit more time seeing if I can figure out. I mean, there's nothing. It's, I mean, you see the commit history. There is a commit where it deletes some code. That's the latest commit with changes, this one. And then there's this. What happens when I try to revert this? We found some conflicts. Oh, okay. Yeah, still though. That still doesn't make any sense. Anyway, yeah, so if I revert this, it says there's conflicts. Okay, alright. So this is in Shapes.js. There should be no Shapes.js. Man, this is messed up. Alright. Well, we have to find the way to move forward. Alright. It's not going to be as straightforward as I thought 5 minutes ago. That sucks. Alright, let's deal with it, though. Alright. Yeah, let's just deal with that. One thing I want to do is, whereas right now I'm creating an array with all these initialized values, I think I want to simplify that and store an array that is only, you know, just a list of pegs. That's my goal today, I think. So, I mean, if I look through here, everything that's going to change, I can go from top down, I guess. We're not going to have pegs anymore. We're not necessarily going to have an arrangement. Actually, what we are going to have is pegs. And they're not going to be initialized. They're just going to be an array. Sorry, there's not going to be an init function. It's just going to be an array. We're no longer going to have an arrangement. Let's keep going down. We're no longer going to have an init pegs function. In our drawBoard function, we're no longer going to be looping through all the rows and columns. Instead, we're going to be looping through only the pegs that we have. And I think that the idea is we're going to set a property called isRendered. And when we're looping, if it's rendered, we'll ignore it. If not, we'll add it to the scene. And then same for if it's removed. We'll set a property for if it's removed. And that'll be, I think, the easiest way to do it. We're just going to store the position of the thing. And it's just going to be in a stack array. Very simplified. I think that a lot of the reasons for what I was dealing with was the indexes. I was trying to get the exact index. No, it's kind of irrelevant. In my brain, I see like, I can see like this board of numbers, and this is what represents the board in the data structure. But that's not, you don't need to do that, I don't think. And that was the reason for the wrong turn. I don't think I'm going to have removed indexes anymore. Is dirty. I'm not sure about that one yet. Might be still a good thing to do. I'm going to take this out. Alright, let me keep going in the same direction. This stuff looks like it's going to remain. Keep it. Alright. Init arrangement. We don't need that. This will remain. This will remain, although we'll change it as part of something else. This will remain. So here we're using a custom function, and then we're passing back arrangement and pegs. I don't think that we need that anymore. But we do need a way to store information returned from this shape.draw, and we'll do so in pegs. Pegs. I think it's reasonable to expect this draw function to return an array of pegs, and then we'll just keep appending them to our pegboard as new pegs, our pegs array as new pegs. So new pegs equals that, and then we'll say pegs equals we have to spread pegs and new pegs. So that's going to combine the two arrays together. Yep. Okay. Let's just keep going with removing stuff. Yeah. We're at the bottom here. Alright, I don't think we need... I'm going to keep this, but something we're going to have to address. Yeah. It's going to be separate, so I'm going to ignore it for now. So since we are passing back pegs and we're building the pegs array, that's what we have to be looping through here. If pegs I is not equal to null and pegs I dot rendered, we'll go not. We'll use the not operator, keep it more concise. And then we'll set that rendered value to true. Hopefully. So we'll have a flag called removed. And if we set the removed flag, then we'll be removing the peg from the scene. And over here is one example of a place where we'll be setting the remove flag. But here we can go we can filter for is previews, and we can do a for each. I don't like that. Hold on. Can we do, I don't know, is map a function? I don't know if that might be React. Can you do that? I don't know. We'll see. We will see if that's a thing. All right. So we're setting the removed property, and then in the drawing loop function, we will be removing the peg. Let's see. What else do we got? So on both of our draw functions, focusing on the add point function first, we're going to need to return arrays of pegs. Arrays of pegs. We probably don't need this anymore. We definitely don't need to pass in pegs anymore. Here, add peg, we don't need pegs anymore. Here, we're going to return peg, just a singular peg. And as far as our add point goes, what we're going to do is we're going to define this as a singular peg, which I guess is defined up here, but we can just do let peg up here in the function. Let peg. I gotta take the pegs out of there because they're not defined anymore. And then, you know, we're pretty much just gonna return this as an array. Like that. Not the prettiest, but I think that's what we want, because all of these will be returning arrays, which will be, we will be traversing on the other side. Yeah, let's see what happens. Forgot to run the server, I guess. Yep. Alright, problems. Arrangement is not defined in main. In main, right? Draw shape, okay. There it is. I don't need arrangement or pegs to be passed in here. Alright. That means I don't need that either. Position is occupied. Ooh, yeah, I might actually need that pegs after all. Yeah. Just for reference, I think I need pegs. Since it's not being mutated, it's not a subject parameter, so it goes at the end before the optional parameters. Alright, so here we need to change this to pegs. The whole get position index thing, I'm not quite so sure. Yeah, so I think for now we'll let's create ourselves a to-do list because this is a little bit more involved. I mean, I guess within peg radius of oh wow, that's elegant. Nice. So that's good. I'm glad I did that. So this is the distance to function, which is pretty sweet. You can measure the distance between two positions by passing in another position. Pretty sweet. Yeah. Okay. But then we have to make sure that our peg is getting that position. We are passing it in to add peg, so let's just make sure that it's getting there. Perfect. That needs to just be peg instead. So in theory, our peg that we're returning and appending to all these arrays has the position property. This is a 3D object, 3D object in THREE.js. Yeah, let's check out errors. Oh, okay, we have a name collision. Or, okay, yeah, that's not passed in. That's what it is. So, back over here. We just need to pass in pegs as the third arg. Like that. And, yeah. Byte array not defined. Oh yeah, we don't need that. And we actually don't need the index either. Index is not defined. We don't need it. Yeah, we don't need it. Alright, we got something there. That's good. Little preview. Peg radius is not defined. That comes from geometry library. Alright. Really? Wow. We'll have to export it. Good to know. It says it can't read undefined. Um, hopefully this can be solved simply. Like this. Little Cascadian. Alright, well, we did solve that. But now we have another error. Interesting. We're getting undefined in this array, which sucks. But, we can deal with it. This will better check for undefined and not just nulls. Alright, let's log out that array and see what we end up getting. So we have mesh, undefined, let's see, how many... I wonder why we're getting undefined. That's weird. We could figure it out by funneling or catching it at the funnel, spouting it, whatever you call it. The draw shape function, what we can simply do, let's get the new pegs. But I think I just thought of what might be the issue. We're passing in pegs, but we're returning only that. We're returning a singular peg. I'm wondering why, yeah. Anyway, let's just console out the new pegs and see if we get undefineds in that array. Yeah, we do. I think. Let's remove that other console log. Pretty sure we're getting undefined. Mesh, undefined. Interesting. Well, I think that's acceptable. What we can do, I'm not entirely sure why it's coming back as undefined sometimes, but sometimes we are calling this draw shape function. It's also our hover event too. So that might be something to consider. Alright. I'm going to take a quick commercial break. And after these short messages, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.